and welcome to today's webinar. I am Leanne Turner, and today's webinar is going to focus on how to speak English more effectively. Okay, I'm so glad you tuned in, and today we're going to be talking about a few different tips that I've worked on with a few of my clients just to improve their English. Now, I'm not going to be teaching you how to speak English because this is one of a type of webinar just to kind of give you tips and techniques if your English is okay and it's good already or excellent. Just giving you some techniques just to reduce the accent a little bit more and improve your voice articulation. So I really hope you're going to get so much out of it. I want to ask you a question though as well. Firstly, how is your day going? Thank you so much for coming in. I know there's so much things you need to do in life, the kids, the husband, the wife, work, job, gym, everything. I know that. And just tell me what you want to get out of the webinar. So just message me through. That'll be great. And then I can make sure that I can fine tune any ones that I do in the future, particularly for you. And we're going to start in just a few minutes. Just going to wait for a few more people to come on board. Excellent. Okay, so I think first of all it would be good just to kind of work out like, who am I, you know? Let's just flick to this. So who is this chick telling you that you need to improve your accent? Like, really, who are you? So just a little bit about me, because I want this webinar to be all about you, of course. I'm Leanne Turner, and I'm clearly a born and bred British chick, London, England, repping all day long. I am a voiceover artist and a voice trainer, and I also help people improve their English by reducing the accent and improving their voice articulation. I've been doing that for a number of years now, but mainly full-time the last kind of 2 or 3 years or so. But it's always been something I've got a passion about. But just to go a little bit in my background, I'm from a legal background, practiced and worked for 10 years in the legal system. And I'd often be presenting cases, and in that industry you need to speak and present so eloquently. If you cannot do that, regardless if you've got a fully strapped case and you're ready to go, forget it. It's not just about like what you're saying is right, it's how you say stuff. So I've had a lot of experience in the English legal court system on presenting cases and things like that, and I just learned all of those tips and I used it into my clients who I work and train with on accent reduction and voice articulation work too. So I must have moved into the online education market around 2-3 years ago too. I'd often be doing Skype classes with friends and previous clients and stuff like that while I was doing my legal work, but I'd say I moved full-time about 2-3 years ago. I love teaching through Skype, Facebook, WhatsApp Messenger, all the bespoke platforms with my students from in Asia and all over the world. I don't actually teach English per se, but I teach how to improve your English accent, if that makes sense, because there's a dime a dozen of English teachers, but there's not that many people who are teaching you how to speak English more effectively, which I think is really key when you're wanting to move in certain communities or go for certain jobs, and particularly if English is a requirement. Yeah, so I love helping people just improve their English. It's just fun, and I just love talking, obviously myself, and just if I can help someone through talking improve their accent, then it's great. I've worked with a number of different people because obviously the internet opens up your world for you. So I've had a range of clients, and this is not limited to Portuguese accents, all different kind of countries within Africa accents, French, Spanish, Indian, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Chinese, Japanese, and Australian as well. Lady wanted to reduce her Australian accent as well. So I wanted to tell you about one of my clients, one of our previous clients called Eduardo. Now Eduardo, he was a bean buyer for Costa, and he had to negotiate daily in English, and usually before it was just through emails and kind of correspondence like that, but now people are more moving into video conferencing. He had to do presentations and things, and he spoke about like 5 languages. He was like on fire. So I think English was probably his 2nd or 3rd language, and he had to talk on a daily basis about money, persuasion, negotiation, contracts, just deals, and you know, contract dates and stuff like that. And he had to chase people and deal with someone when they weren't agreeing to the contract, and maintain working relationships too. So part of his challenge, his English was great, technically, the writing, the reading, the listening, but just the speaking just needed to slow down the pace a bit. His first language was Portuguese. Then he spoke Spanish, and then I think he had English as the third language, and there was two other, I think it was French and Italian he had as well. He's amazing linguist. So I had to give him teaching and training techniques on how to just slow down the pace, improve the intonation, and just the way the emphasis is on a few words, and change his breathing and the position of the tongue too. It sounds really simple, but unless someone actually explains that to you, then you're not going to know why is it that when you talk you've got to say things 2 or 3 times, you know. So that really helped improve his English articulation. We worked for a number of weeks because he had a particular project to a huge corporate section that he needed to present in English, all of the facts and figures of Costa for that quarter. And I was so proud. He sent me the video recording. His English was perfect. You know, like if you've ever been like with your child and assembly or something, they're like, oh, they do a really great thing, just clapping. I was literally clapping. It was so good. And now he's presenting business presentations, doing meetings, 45 minutes strong, talking in English, being articulate, having the right pace, answering questions, not getting flustered. Such a huge grasp of vocab too. Really good. I was so pleased. So he practices English a lot, obviously because of his job, and then also we would have, I think, 2 sessions a week as well, just to improve and refine things too. But he was really on point. Really great student. All right, so I want to talk about a couple of other stuff. Like, you might think, oh, what would I know about having English as a second foreign language? I know a lot. Growing up, living, working in London is not easy. Of course, wherever it is in the world, it's not easy. I know that. But London is a particular place that if you do not speak in a clear, functional fashion, you're not going to get up the work ladder. You're not going to be able to move and groove in certain social circles. That's just how it is. It's not my rules. It's just how it is, okay? So I just wanted to ask, like, do you ever kind of keep quiet at parties, social sessions, at the bus stop, in work meetings, because you know that your English is a little bit hard to understand? Does it make you feel nervous because you're not sure 100% if people fully understand you? And like when you're speaking, do you have to kind of repeat yourself twice or even 3 times? And I know sometimes I've worked with clients, their English is perfect, grammar, tick, reading, tick, listening, tick, but the speaking is like, just butchering the languages, and I can just hear where the gaps are. And sometimes your accent can stop showing how great your English really is, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I've worked with a number of different accents, as I've told you, and it's the same struggle, same problem, just a different accent. Yeah. And I just want to let you know, there's hope. There's a plan, there's solutions. So don't think like, oh, I'm just going to have this thick accent forever and a day. No one will understand me. No. It can definitely be improved, okay? So I want to move on now. Of course, you've got any questions, just throw them in, fire them on in. I wanted to look at now, like when you speak, as I mentioned before, do people understand you? Do you have to repeat yourself? Like, those are indicators that your English is not quite clear. And do you understand when people are speaking to you, and do you say the right answer to the question that was posed? Yeah. So have you ever been to an interview? This is one that always gets me. Ever been to an interview and you know you're fully qualified for that job, and then they don't give you the job and they give you the reason of, oh, his English needs to be improved. And it's like so damning. You know you're more than qualified than the person who probably even interviewed you, but it's just, once again, your English. Do you sometimes text as well to avoid speaking to people? That's what I know some people do, and their English is a struggle. And do you ever fluff your words in a business meeting or a work appraisal? Anything. And these are things that kind of indicate that you may not be that comfortable speaking English out loud, but it's just because of your accent. So, some of my happy clients, people I've worked with in the past, some of them I'm still working with in different ranges and times. Of course, you probably see and know all the people. Sorry, I think Adidas is behind my head. So, I've worked with, these are some of the people you're going to know: Huge Clients, National Lottery, Bookbox, Costa Coffee, Futureventura, Google, Adidas, Cinesa. And Cinesa is the Spanish version of, in the UK, we call it Odeon Cinema. You know, the ones that have those big red carpets. That was an amazing contract to work on, because one of the girls that I was with, she was the person that sets up those red carpet events. Amazing to help her improve her accent and stuff by working through those projects. That was fun, definitely. I've worked with a number of different people of different types of jobs. So from your corporate commercial lawyers, fraud investigators, marketing, social media gurus, influencers, gamers, HR people, sales, and just regular mums and dads that just want to improve their English because they've got a 9-to-5 job and they live or work in an English speaking country, and they just want to work in a coffee shop or they want to work in an office, and they just really need to improve how they speak English. So work with a huge spectrum of clients, and I love it. And I've learnt so much from them, and they've learnt from me. So yeah, it's just been brilliant and so fun. Just please feel free to ask any questions. Drop them in the chat box, and I'll try to get through them all by the end of this webinar. And if not, please just email me through leanne@leannesvoice.com. I won't be able to respond to them all right now because obviously I'm on the webinar, but I will respond to all of your questions. I don't like when people ask questions, they don't get an answer. I always answer. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Like, why are you here? Why do you want to improve your English? So let's just kind of think like, your English should be okay-ish, good, but it's just the pronunciation of it. And I'm going to show you some ways how you can improve your English, okay? Now, the solution to your struggle. So I'm going to give you some accent reduction and voice articulation techniques, right? And just to give you an idea of like, what do those terms mean? You're going to learn exactly how to reduce your accent and just soften some of the pronunciations that you say, or strengthen some of the areas where you are a bit loose at, etc. And that will improve just the way how you speak English. You're going to learn what your accent talk says about you, and what the struggles are when you're speaking English, and how to improve your English communication. Just some common problems when you're speaking English, which translates to so many different people. And just also remember, it's not easy trying to speak English. Even born and bred Americans, Australians, Londoners, they get it wrong, okay? So nobody is perfect at speaking English, okay? And one tip that we're gonna go through is always think in English. That is key. And I'm gonna just play you a podcast as well, just some different tips and tricks about how to improve your English. And I love doing tongue twisters with my clients when I'm trying to help them improve English. It really helps. I'm going to show you a bit of work that I've done for another company, just so you can hear what you should be listening to and the levels that you should be at. I'm going to have a little touch on idioms, phrasal verbs, silent words as well. These can throw off people when you've got English as a second foreign language or a third or whatever. And I'm going to show you and explain a video as well, and just how to speak English more effectively, and just go through those confusing words which look like a certain way on paper, but they're said differently. So just, if English wasn't hard enough, I'm just going to go through some of the even more complicated bits just to kind of get you just up to stream, all right? So, I love accents, yeah. I'm not one to say get rid of it. That is not my corner. I love accents. It tells, as I said before, where you're brought up, your cultural background, your educational level, your confidence even. Talks about it. Your accent can even express your confidence or your level or experience of public speaking. And it shows you as well. I can always tell when someone has learned English from an English or British English speaking teacher, or from an American, or one of those, not of those two big groups. You can always hear a little twang, and you can work out where they've learned it from, whether they've watched videos, etc., to try and get this certain style. And your accent can even reveal like your health, your age, anything well, some people's accents can tell about their age. Some people's ones could just throw you off too. All right, as I said to you, like, the struggle is real. I totally understand. I've worked with a number of different people who've got to do different things in life, and it's a struggle trying to improve English. But as I say to you, it is not impossible. It is no way impossible. You can definitely do it. All right. I'm just gonna. You just really need to have just the correct pronunciation. The vowel pronunciation needs to be on point. And sometimes it can get confusing when there's a struggle in English, when you've got these 3-syllable words like environment, location, indication, like all these different words. You think like maybe in your home language it's just one simple word. In English there's like 2 or 3 and one of them's got different spellings. Yeah. Also, fear and worry can give you incorrect pronunciation as well, because you may be very conscious that your English is not up to the level that you want it to be. So that can kind of come into it when you're speaking, and sometimes the speed could be too fast or the pronunciation's a little bit off on some words. A number of things, and you've really got to think in English to make sure your English improves. Thinking in your home language and translate, you're always, I guarantee you this, you're always going to get your English wrong if that's the way you do it. And then sometimes I've worked with people, some of my French students and clients, they'll say, because English is closely aligned to like German, French, a little bit of Spanish and stuff. Often I've worked with French students and they're thinking in English, but they'll just say a word in French just because it's similar or they thought it was near it. You know, things like that. Those are the struggles, because English can kind of bounce into different languages too, and I can understand it can be complicated to differentiate. Is this French? Is this English? Is this German? You know, I understand. Also, another struggle as well can be that you may have a lack of vocab in a particular industry, or even just going shopping or looking at social media, and that can stop how much you say, how well you talk as well. If you're hesitation in speaking and you're not too sure what to say, that kind of throws off people to really actually understand you correctly. And as well, another struggle I know is, this one is huge, you do not have anyone to speak English to who can actually correct you. Because you may have friends who speak English, but you're probably the best one out of them. And you don't have someone just around who can lovingly and kindly just say, hey, you know, that word you're saying it a little bit off there, yeah? So yeah, that's definitely a struggle. And also you could even have social anxiety when you're in a social setting, thinking that you don't want to speak English because last time people said this, or they couldn't understand that, or they started laughing. All these different things can come up when you're trying to speak English, and those can really affect how well your English is actually spoken. I always think like one of my other clients as well, with her accent, she always says this word, the word budget, she says budget, budget, and it sounds like the word budgie, like the little pet flat bird. And then I got another client, it's the word Venice, she says Venice, Venice, you know, I love it. And the word idea, she says idea, idea, idea. And money, this is one of my French students, she does this one all the time. She says money, money. So rather, that sounds like Monet the painter, rather than money, cash, cash, money, give me more, you know. So yeah, I do understand the struggle is real. English is not the easiest language to know, understand, speak and articulate well. But I'm telling you, once again, it is possible, all right? Okay, so let's take a quiz. What is your biggest problem or problems? What are your biggest problems when speaking English? Is it vocab, fear of not getting the words right, or is it just bad pronunciation? Like, which one? And just remember as well, it's not easy, as I've said time and time again, it's not easy speaking English, and particularly if you've come from a background of 2, 3, 4 languages as well, and they're not quite similar to English, because it's really hard to get your brain to kind of rework it. And I've said to you before, always think in English. Don't think in your home language and translate, because you're going to get into a lot of bother if you do it that way. What else? I wanted to say something else here. Okay, how can you improve your English? Now, there are so many ways. You can do reading, listening, talking out loud, but the way how you really can accelerate is if you do all these things, plus get someone to listen to you who's going to correct you and give you a little bit of guidance as well. That's what I find. I really want to go through a couple of techniques here. Just to improve your English, right? Just a couple of things that I always work through with my clients. What do you listen to? You need to be listening and repeating podcasts that are spoken with very good English and music, or videos on YouTube and stuff, because I know some of my clients can watch stuff. It may not be the best stuff to watch to improve their English. So if you're going to watch the news, I'd say watch BBC News, watch Sky News, those type of ones, because you're going to hear a very good standard of English there. Read your quotes out loud. When you're reading a book, read them out loud so you can get your mouth in the right order. Practice tongue twisters. I'm going to put a few on here. Use idioms, phrasal verbs, silent word tricksters as well. I'm going to go through that because that can really get people if you're not used to speaking in that way. Let me just go through a couple of more techniques too. I'm going to go through as well today about confusing words. I mean, you might think all of English is confusing. I know, I get that. Watching videos and repeating the tone, pace, intonation of the speaker and the mouth and tongue positions as well. That is key to get English correct. And just also the word stress and the breathing and the intonation and the rhythm and the pace and the tone. And as I say time and time again, language is one to be spoken. And so read out literatures out loud, blogs, newspapers, poetry, quotes, books, whatever it is, just read it out loud so you get used to hearing yourself speak it out loud, and just to try and get the pace right as well. Now, I wanted to let you have a little listen to me, of course. Just with me, this is one of my podcasts that I've got out, and I hope you'll be able to hear. If not, of course, you can click the link and stuff. This is just some of my things that I've got on tongue twisters. I just found it fun. Excellent. So you kind of get the drift. You can obviously go, and I've got the link for this podcast in the notes and stuff, so you can definitely go through that one and just have that one up for sure. As well, so that's my podcast, and I highly suggest that you listen to it. You want to improve your English and stuff. It's really good to make sure you're listening to key people who are speaking English in a way that you want to imitate as well. So that's what I would really encourage, urge, plead you to do. Just getting back to the right slide here now. Yep, so those are my happy clients. And let me just get it up here. All right, so you got to listen and repeat out loud. So if you heard me talking, I gave a tongue twister. Even just repeating what someone is saying and how they're saying it and things like that, you know, is really, really key. I think it's great as well. Just get this back up to presentation mode. And I think it's key as well. If, just wanted to get it on the big screen. If you imitate whatever you hear, not just anything, but just good speakers, okay? That's what I'd really highly urge, encourage, and ask for you to do. So please feel free to click onto my podcast and copy me. There's a bunch of people speaking English, whether it's American, Australian, New Zealand, British English, whatever. But please, as I said, listen and repeat out loud. That's going to help you improve your English too. And moving on, I love as well watching children's cartoons. There's nothing better than a Saturday morning watching cartoons. I don't know about you, if you've got kids or not, it doesn't matter. It's all about linking into that inner child. And what I love about watching children's cartoons, because the English is so simple, the articulation is clear, it is very basic, but it's the pronunciation that I'm trying to ask you to imitate, not necessarily the topic. So I just put up BookBox, who I've done a couple of bit of work with, and they really announce words really, really well, the speakers that they've got on there. And watch children's cartoons on YouTube or buy some, whatever it is, and just imitate the way the speakers speak, because that will help you like second to none. Definitely just imitate the emotion, the pace, the intonation. It's kind of exaggerated at times because it's trying to bring a certain vision to children, but children's cartoons are ones that you should watch if you want to improve how you speak, because it's very, very high level speaking English, I would say. Just imitate the pronunciation. Now, as you heard me on my podcast, I had some tongue twisters on there. I wanted to try some with you. And just even doing these tongue twisters for 5 minutes each day will really help you. This is one of the techniques I think that you can really use to improve your English. So reduce your accent, improve your articulation. If you can get your tongue around tongue twisters, wow, you're doing good. So listen to this one. A big baby buggy with rubber buggy bumpers. Yeah, you want to try that one? Or I also love practicing this one with some of my clients. Double bubble gum, bubbles double. I love that one. And you keep doing it. You get faster and faster and faster. So double bubble gum, bubbles double. Double bubble gum, bubbles double. You know, you just keep going in your mouth. Can get around the articulation of the shape, the sound, the speeds, etc. That's going to help you. That technique, tongue twisters. It's a real good one to help you. Got a couple of other tongue twisters there. One year we had a Christmas brunch with Merry Christmas mush, too much, but I don't think you'd care for such. We didn't like too much mush, you know? And fetch me the finest fresh fried, freshest fish that Finny fries. So if you can get your tongue around these, even just doing one of these tongue twisters each day, by the end of the week, your English pronunciation and accent would have reduced. Not significantly like, oh my gosh, your accent's changed from whatever it was on Monday to something on Friday. No, but it's a technique that if you keep on going. Remember, it's not just overnight. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I've got my accent all sorted out. No, this is a continuous process to improve your accent so that your English is spoken more effectively. That makes sense? I hope so. Just some more tongue twisters because I love them and I think they're a great technique. Pete Briggs Pat's pigs. Briggs Pat's pink pigs. Briggs Pat's big pigs. Pete Briggs is a big pig patter. You see, it's not even easy for me at times. So definitely try some of these, get them on board. You will definitely improve your English just in doing idioms. And another technique I really want you to get your head around, because this really helps so much, is idioms. And this is a hard one to get your head around when English is not your first language. And the idioms are 10,000, 20, there are everywhere, and there are so many. I don't even know the final number that there are in English, but there are so many. Okay, so idioms. This is key to improve your English. What are they? Why are they there? Why is it that English has them? Who uses them? Who even understands them? Even British English speakers use them. They don't even know they're using an idiom. So don't worry if it kind of sounds confusing, it's fine. Here's a couple of them. Loads of them are popular. Some of the popular ones: ace up your sleeve, blank check, blue chip company, above board. All of these idioms, right, they help you talk like a native. And basically, in a nutshell, they are phrases, expressions that are commonly used in everyday English by native speakers, and they vary from British English, Australian English, American English, and they're metaphorical. They make the language more colourful, and people use them to express something more vividly, more, and often briefly as well. So basically, idioms serve to give you a mental image or picture about what it is you're talking about. So The ones that have got ace up your sleeve means that you've got a new product up your arm, or a new tool or techniques that's going to blow out your competition. A blank check basically means that someone's going to write your check and you write how many zeros you want on the end of it. Yes, please. And a blue chip company, usually referred to as one of those safe, strong, consistent companies. And above board means that everything's legit, everything's clear, there's no kind of fraud, no kind of craziness happening in the transaction or whatever. It's nothing is a secret. Everything is like on the table. And boil the ocean. This one, sometimes people use it here and there, but it means I expect you to do the job well, but don't try and like boil the ocean. It just basically means that don't waste your time, because you can't boil the ocean. You know, going head to head with someone you're not really ready to go head to head with. It's just something impossible. So that means don't boil the ocean. It's an impossible thing that you're going to be able to do or win, etc. So that was idiom, just a quick bit. I know you probably know that. I don't want to go into grammar because this is not an English class. It's a accent reduction voice articulation webinar. Another technique I love to help with my clients is phrasal verbs. Now these bad boys, they can get you when English is a second foreign language. As you know, it's a verb followed by a preposition or an adverb, yeah? So phrasal verbs use multiple word verbs and stuff, and they're an important part of English language. They're mainly used when you're speaking English and in formal written texts too. In academic writing, it's preferable to probably use more formal verbs, such as, say for example, if you're going to use to get together or something, you probably use a bit more of a formal verb rather than like something like to postpone rather than put off, if that's an example. Phrasal verbs are everything, idioms are everything. So just a quiz. I know you guys love quiz. Some phrasal verb examples: forward to, run out, keep up, called off, made up, carried away, passed away, break up, put up with, do without. Phrasal verbs can really grab you, and it's key that you know them. If I go over any grammar, if I ever turn around to brush up, it's definitely idioms, definitely phrasal verbs. And just some of the answers there of that quiz, just like how do you fill in the gaps basically. And just some of the answers there would be like, don't smoke in the forest fires. Just for this quiz, those were the verbs to put in there. Don't smoke in the forest fires, beep, easy at this time. And of course the answers are, don't smoke in the forest fires, fires break out easy at this time of the year. Sorry, I just couldn't hear you just then. And I'll look forward to see my friends again, I'm afraid. We've run out of apple juice. Your website has helped me a lot. Keep up the good work. Friend of mine has called off her wedding now. That's serious. His mother can't put up with this terrible behaviour anymore. As an excuse for being late, she made up the whole story. I got carried away by his enthusiasm and I cannot do without my mobile phone. And she's very sad. She was very sad because her father passed away last week. So these are different ways of how you can use like phrasal verbs, and these are constantly in spoken English conversation. So just getting a grip on idioms, phrasal verbs, and practicing your tongue twisters, that will really, really help you to improve your voice articulation, your accent reduction. The other thing that I've always noticed is key for my clients is silent word. I call them silent word tricksters, man. There are so many words in English that have silent letters in them, and they're not pronounced. And it often happens in English. They're written down, and you see them in writing, but you just don't say them. And it makes no sense. Sometimes you think for them to be in there, but because you don't say them. But it's just something you've just got to get your head around, and you don't say the letters that are silent. So let me just show you. This is just an example of some of them. So you've got bomb, climb, comb, abscess, ache. So with ache, some people I've worked with some of my clients, they call it ashk, or something like that. Like it's not, it's ache. And then the other ones of the K, that gets loads of people. If you've been got by that on the silent word thing, don't worry, it happens to everyone. So you've got night, and some people say knight. Nah, it's night. You've got knee, and some people say knee. No, these are things you've got to get your head around. These silent word tricksters, I call them. If you can grasp this and say these in the right way, the right tone, the right intonation, you will definitely be improving your English accent and just the articulation, definitely. So these are just little things. It only takes little things to just improve and make a big difference. That's what I find with my clients as well. And I wanted to touch on as well, just to highlight confusing words, because I know that English can be confusing to some. And then within the English language, there are confusing words. It's where there's two words. They either sound the same or they're written the same, but they actually mean two different things. And the only way to kind of get through this, get this done, is basically to know and learn them, okay? So English has got a lot of tricky vocab. So you can get the word advice, which has got the C in it, or advise, which has got an S, but it sounds like a Z. Yeah, it's one of those ones. And these words can even be confusing for native English speakers. So don't think like, oh, it's because you know all these languages or because English is a second foreign language, that's why you don't know it. No, these words can get confusing for people who speak English as a second foreign language, and it is confusing. And you've got those lists of words like, I don't know, principal, principal, all these different ones. The problem is, of course, the words can be spelt very closely, or their meanings focus on a different area, or the pronunciations are not the same, but it's not always evident when you see the word written on paper, etc. So these are ones you just got to learn, just the confusing words where one of them, they sound or say the same, or they're written the same, but they mean like two different things. Yeah, so I can only say to you, learn them, know them, keep practicing, and keep speaking out loud. That's the way how you're going to improve with these confusing words, and there are so many. All right, so next I wanted to just give you an example of one that I talked about. These ones get students all the time. So confusing word examples: advice, advise, discreet, discreet, draft versus draft, and illicit versus illicit. So just going with advice, you know this already. I'm not going to teach you the grammar again. You've got advice when it's used as a noun. Do you have any advice for the president? Did you take the doctor's advice? You know how it's used in that way. Or when it's used as a verb, when it's spelled A-S-A-D, oops. When it's spelled A-D, whoopsie, sorry. When it's spelled A-D-V-I-S and it's said with the advise, yeah? That's when it's used as a verb, like, will you give some advice to somebody, okay? Will you invest your money? I advise you when you're telling someone to do something? That's when you use that advice. So it can be confusing. I mean, look at these. That's just 4 examples. And there are hundreds, thousands in the English language, which you can easily get confused in. But it's just one of those ones you've just got to go, remember, revise, go over it again, because there are many confusing words in English that you just need to get your head around, kind of thing. Okay, so another tip and technique that I want to share with you on how to improve your accent and your voice articulation skills is to watch videos and repeat the tone of the speakers. Yeah, this is key. There are so many videos that you can watch on YouTube and a number of different accents that you can watch, imitate and repeat, but of course you're on my webinar and I want you to listen to mine. Let me just show you this is a piece of work that I did, some voice work that I did for a company about landscape, and I want you to hear how I articulate and just finding videos for yourself wherever you are in the world that you like and enjoy, that's going to help you. So have a little listen. Okay, that gives you an example of some of the work that I do. So yeah, so that's a bit of the work I do, and I just really want you to take on that, is to imitate the good voices that you hear on YouTube. Okay, so even if you can get speakers who are actually like TV shows, talk shows, etc., watch how they move their mouth, listen to when they're doing the breathing, imitate the videos, the speakers on YouTube, Netflix, TV, whatever it is that you watch. Even like with just my one, just take the link off of this slide and then just kind of imitate the way I speak. Does that make sense? Copy the tongue positions, the tone, the pace, the intonation, everything, and that will help your English improve. Okay. So let's just go back 28, 29. Yeah, so that's just one example that I think would be great. A great just definitely a great help if you just imitate the way how others speak, and that's going to help you in 110%, 110% fold, definitely. Okay, so I know my screen is looking a little bit funny. Okay, so looking at the next slide. Okay, this thing about word stress is so key if you're going to improve your accent, the way you speak English, and your intonation, etc. Word stress, intonation, breathing, rhythm. English is basically like a song. It's like no other language. There's no other language in the world, well, that I know of. If you know, please tell me. That sounds like English, with the same way, the pace, the changing, the words, etc. None that I know of. In English, we accentuate or stress one syllable in a word at a time, and we pronounce that syllable louder than others at times. There could be words with one syllable, for example, mind, which is spelled M-I-N-D, or words with one stressed syllable. Oh, there's ones with like the word week, or remind, reminder, reminding. There's a few different syllables in that, from the basic word of remind, or the word mind even. In some of my examples, I just want to just share with you quickly. You can get different stresses on nouns and adjectives, and for example, some part of the word often stays the same in the original word. So the word art, when you change it to artist, it still sounds the same. Break, breakable, the word break still sounds the same. The word friend, the word friendly still sounds the same. Do you know what I mean? I hope we can be friends too. And of course, there are other words like come, become, mind, remind, which I've kind of gone over already. You can often get nouns or adjectives that stem from one syllable words, as I said to you, the word mind, but it stays the same even when it changes to its gerund or it's in its adjective form, etc. So these are just little things that make English that much more niche. But if I can tell you, just remember that English is a bit of a song. That will help you when you're doing the stresses on particular words, the intonation, breathing, rhythm, and pace too. Now, of course, not just watching people imitate what they say. I've said this to you the whole webinar through. Read out loud. Read out lots of different literature, from blogs, stories, newspapers, poems, Shakespeare. I don't know. Read whatever it is you like that tickles your fancy, that you know you can read, you understand. Read it out loud and record yourself. There are so many things you can get for free online. Don't buy a book. Why? Unless it's someone that you obviously want to read about, of course. Definitely. These reading literature can really help, because it helps you to read good written English and to articulate and hear yourself speaking very, very well. That is one thing that I definitely do say. Please, please, please read your literature out loud. And moving on. Okay, words. One of my favourite women who was on this planet, Maya Angelou, and she said, words mean more than what is set down on paper. It takes the human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. So this is just a little quote telling you that whatever it is that you say, it depends on how you say it. And that's what's going to give it the deeper meaning. Okay, so that's just a little quote I just saw there, and I thought, oh, I want to put that in my webinar. I want to really just share that with you guys. Now, obviously, I've been dropping a couple of quizzes in this. Another quiz. What areas do you think that you need to improve? Is it your vocab, your pronunciation, or basically everything to help your accent improve and your voice articulation? So have a little think about that, and just, of course, message me and let me know where you think you want to improve. And of course, let's just move on. I want to speak about like just something that I think is going to really help you. So I've gone through a couple of techniques today, just to really help you. Just a whole bunch of stuff I've gone through today. We have gone through things like idioms, phrasal verbs, who I've worked with, just different techniques to really help you to improve, and just how to really get solid on improving your accent and your voice articulation. So as I said, I'm not someone who says get rid of your accent. No. I just say soften it, reduce it, improve the articulation. Okay, just your accent can improve just how you present yourself. So in this course, we have gone through a podcast, a video, imitating how people speak, common problems in English with pronouncing certain words or verbs, etc. And just remind you that English is not easy. I'm not saying that this is easy to improve your accent. It's not. It's a possible thing that you can do, and you've got to do it over and over again. We've looked at tongue twisters, idioms, phrasal verbs, silent word tricksters. Do not forget those. And we've gone through confusing words and stuff like that. And I've just gone through different techniques to help you. These are just some of the basic things that I think that I just wanted to share with you through this webinar that will really help you to improve. And then if you want to go to the next level, those people that are really, really serious about upping their game, like they're tired of repeating themselves 2, 3, 4 times, tired of going to job interviews and being told, oh, you're a nice person, oh, you got great qualifications, but your English, you need to practice. Do you know what I mean? Those frustrations. Tired of not talking in social sense. You don't go on dates, you don't go to parties, you don't go out and speak out on the street because you are so worried that you don't sound, or people will not be able to understand you. Even at work, you refuse to give business presentations, you don't interview people, you don't speak on the phone, or you do as much as you can to avoid. I'm talking to those people right now, those who are serious, who want to reduce their accent and improve their voice articulation. If that's you, this is going to really change your life. Okay, so on this course I've developed just for you, you are going to learn real stuff, not drills on grammar and exercises. And although there is a little bit of that in that course, I can't ignore it, but you're going to get real tools to really help you improve your English accent, to reduce your accent and improve your voice articulation. Okay, so if that's something that you want to be in, then let's work a bit closer together. And if you're sick and tired of not being understood, and you really want to grow and you want to change from today onwards, then you need to go on this course that I've developed for you. And it can help to improve. Okay, so if you're tired of constant repeating yourself, avoiding phone calls, not speaking in public settings or social circumstances, you avoid giving those business presentations in English because you always think someone is not going to understand you, then this is the course for you. If you're sick of not being able to speak English as well as you know you can, then get on this course. It's the accent reduction and voice articulation course, working with me on a one-to-one basis. You cannot get this deal anywhere else with the time packages that I'm going to give you. So listen to this. The format of the course, it's really simple. I know you have a lot of pressures on your time. I'm not going to add to it, be an extra burden. No way. I want to be your helper to help your accent to improve. All you got to do is practice, and practice is just basically talking out loud for 10 to 15 minutes each day. You need to watch the videos that I've set and recorded for you, read the quotes of the material, the reading material, the homework that I've given you out loud. Then you just record it. It's quite simple. Into your phone, click send an email that to me, and then I will listen to it, hear the areas where I think you need to improve, and then give you tips and feedback in the next session. And the outcomes of this course, right, If you are tired of repeating yourself, not being understood, you don't want to talk in certain circumstances, or you always do text and email because you know you don't sound that good speaking English, then come onto this course. This course is going to really help you to have more confidence when you speak English, have no fear of who and when and what you say. You're going to speak English much more effectively. You're going to speak the correct pronunciation too. And you're going to be able to communicate clearly with your co-workers and get ahead at work. So there's no more of this going to an interview and they tell you, oh, you're great, tick, education, tick, skills, tick, oh, accent, oh, No more fear of speaking on the phone. You're going to be understood the first time you speak, okay? And as well, it's going to change, reduce, neutralize your accent so you can clearly speak English. And I never think of getting rid of someone's accent, but I always think of softening it, reducing it so that you can be understood much more clearly. And I'm just really going to help you on this course to speak English with much more confidence. So you don't have to pause and be hesitant, saying or speaking your own home language in between you speaking English. No, you are going to improve your English. Your accent is going to reduce, your voice articulation is going to go up, and people are going to understand you more effectively and much better the first time rather than second and third, or you just get frustrated and don't even communicate anymore. So how much is this investment going to cost you to get this course? So it's basically an online course, as I've said, 10 to 15 minutes each day, watching a video, doing the homework, recording to your phone. You can do that on your commute to work. You can do that while getting ready in the morning, having the video playing in the background. It's really easy. I just want you to layer your time, not add to your time, okay? It's realistic. And then so we're going to go through, there's a few different options that will work for you, so just let me know. So you can have these are the packages for the accent reduction course, okay? You can have first the bronze, all right, where it costs you, your investment is just merely £200, 200 British pounds. You'll get all the articles I've written that go over the course, the videos, the slides, the quotes, the worksheets, the practicals, the cheat sheets, the quiz, the homework tasks, and you get one 60-minute online consultation so I can work with you and go through where the areas are lacking in how you speak English and give you some pointers, some tips and techniques on how to improve, just specifically for your accent, okay? Then that is bronze package, right? Just 200. That's all, just 200. And then if you want to go up a gear, you want to work a bit closer with me, okay? Now, that will be, all right, you get everything, you see, that's on the bronze. All those articles, videos, slides, etc. I'm not going to go through the whole list because you can see it. You get all of that in bronze, plus you get 2 times 60-minute sessions with me of a consultation to go through what it is you're working on, what are your struggles when you speak English, and go through just how we're going to work through different techniques to improve your accent. So it's bespoke, designed specifically for you. And then also give you masterclass tips as well. That's a little thing that I share with those on the silver package, and you'll hear 3 times podcasts with different tips to help you as well. So those are the ones who want to do silver. But if you want to really take it there, like you are too tired of not being able to get to the levels that you want to, and you are just like, you know what, Leanne, I'm not going to do bronze, I'm not going to do silver, I'm in it to win it today, I'm stepping into the big league. You get everything in bronze, okay? You get all of everything that's happening in silver, but then you get 4 times 60-minute online consultation sessions with me, where I'll go through, we can meet once a week, once every day for 4 days. We do it online, do it through Skype, Zoom, whatever thing works for you, my dear, it's fine. I'll give you the masterclass tips. You'll get 7 podcasts and tips. You'll get an ebook and a workbook to work together through. And this will be something you can have forever. And you can have this access as well. So have a look at what your needs are right now. Are you just ready to go bronze and just get all of the documents, work for yourself? Or do you want to take that step and go to silver package, where we can have 2 sessions of a consultation? Or are you tired of just kind of doing bits and pieces, etc., of your accent reduction work, and you just want to go for it, you want to go for gold, pay that £500, and then you can get all of those stuff that I've put in: bronze, silver and gold, and you're ready to go for your 4 sessions to get your accent reduced. And of course we can do our sessions, we can put them in a great time and place when it's convenient for both of us, okay? So don't think this kind of rigid. We can do Skype classes online, or do it through Zoom, Google Hangouts, whatever kind of works for you, depends on where you are in the world. This offer is available to you now, 48 hours, and the bonus masterclass tips, which helps you to talk like a native, they will be available if you register now in the next 48 hours, okay? So this material is available for you to buy and purchase. Please don't let this offer pass you. If you're serious about improving your English, reducing your accent, improving your voice articulation, please click on one of these links here. Bronze, £200, click straight through to PayPal. You don't have to deal with any cards or anything like that, cash money. I don't see your card, you don't see my details, it's fine. Put it through, click the link on PayPal, click the buy now. You've got bronze, £200, silver, £300, gold, £500. And as I've said to you, on the bronze, you get 1 hour session with me where I can sit down, listen to your accent, hear what it is that you're saying, how can I improve, give you the techniques that you can need to work on every day, and every little simple things, little tweaks that will help you. That happens on bronze. You'll get 1 hour session with me. On silver, you will get 2, and on gold, you will get 4 60-minute consultations. All right, so that's for those that are serious about reducing their accent. They are tired of having to repeat themselves. So please feel free right now to ask me any questions that you want. Please book on if you're serious about changing your accent. You want to do it. Get with it today, please book on. And I really hope you enjoyed this webinar. You got lots from it. Thank you so much for coming. That's just me at a good day out somewhere, somewhere out of London, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So I'm going to leave these links up here, and please do feel free to click on, email me if you've got any questions, but don't leave your accent in the situation that is now, please. Let's do something about it. Let's work together, whichever package suits you best with your time frame. But if you're really serious and you want to change, like, you know which one you need to do. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. I do have a few questions. Someone was asking me. Thank you for everyone coming on board today. And I just wanted to go through a few different questions as well. Someone asked me a question. 1 second. Let me just get this question up here. Okay, I had a few questions that came in. Let me just read them off here. I'm just looking at 2 different screens as well. Oh, someone asked. This is Carlos. All right, Carlos. Someone asked, I always say the word idea in the wrong way. Okay, yeah. A lot of times you can say the word idea, IDEA, in the wrong way, because you can be messing up where the vowels are, A-E-I-O-U. So that often happens, I've noticed with my French clients. They'll say idea, which is totally wrong. It's just basically the way how you've been trained in maybe your home language or another language on how to pronounce vowels. So that one is always idea. And before you say those words, when the vowels are close together like that, I'd always go A-E-I-O-U in your head. That's a good one. I hope that answers the question. If not, just kind of come back to me. And number 2, someone else asked a question. I cannot get rid of my Indian accent. I don't want anybody to get rid of their accent. That's not what I'm here for. I want people to reduce the accent so they can be heard and understood more effectively, because your accent is all still part of you. Obviously, if you're in a big Hollywood movie, as I told you, get rid of your accent if they're paying you the right millions for it, of course. But I think that your accent can be softened or reduced so that people can understand you, so that when you speak English, you can be understood more effectively. I love hearing someone's accent when they're speaking English, but I don't like it when it becomes about their accent rather than what it is they're saying, if that makes sense, okay? So you can improve how you speak, particularly if you've got a very strong Indian, Asian accent. There are many techniques that can work through with you. Some of the stuff I've gone through in this webinar, yeah, they'll work. There's some specific stuff as well, particularly like how you move your mouth and the position of your tongue. Those are things as well that need to retrain, particularly when you've got when you're speaking English as a second foreign language and your home language was based in the Asian, Far East, Middle East continent. There are techniques that we can go through to help you, and these are just basically things you're going to need to do. Small bits each day make a big difference. Okay. I had another one. Why is English so hard? Someone asks. Oh, English isn't hard. It's just one of those unique languages that's kind of stand off alone out there by itself. You can really get to grips with it. And I would say not even born and bred English people actually know and understand every element of the English language, okay? They will make errors just like you. But English is not hard. You just need someone to walk you through it, to explain how to speak it more effectively. Then you'll be like, wow, I get it. You know, and I'm here to help you to improve your accent reduction techniques and skills and improve your voice articulation too. Just the last question before we go, because I can see time. Yeah, someone asks if they can book. Oh, so sweet. Karen asks if she can book today. Of course. As I've said to you, I'll put back up that screen, which is this way. Of course, you can book today. And I've gone through like, what are the, what do you get in each package? And of course, in bronze, as I've said, these are the PayPal links. And remember, I've said to you that these are what you get. So you can pay £200 on the bronze packet. You get all the articles. It's all based online. The course is all based online. I give you the link to the where it's all held on the online portal. You click through. You work through at your pace. We book a time for the 60-minute one for the bronze at a time that's convenient for you. So we do it online. Don't have to meet anywhere. We just click in, headphones in, and I listen to you, give you techniques and help, okay? Same with the silver and the bronze. You access all of the material online. Click it, you go through the worksheets, the homework, the articles, the books, everything that I've given you to help improve your accent is all accessed online. Everything is done online. I listen to you online. We have a Skype or a Zoom or whatever consultation session online, and I'll give you the tips, send you through email. So we never have to meet anywhere. Doesn't matter about the time zone. Send me the homework next time we book in to meet for our consultation session. It'll be, the information will be there, the work will be corrected, etc. I am really excited to get on board with all of you guys, whether you go for bronze, silver or gold. I cannot wait to work with all of your different accents and hear how you are from today, day one, on to day two. This is going to be an amazing time, and I'm just so glad you've come onto this webinar. I look forward to working with you, whether it's for 1, 2 or 4 sessions, or even more if you like the way we work together. I'm excited to hear how you think you want to improve, how I can help you, how we're going to just really just move you from like you know, Z list onto an A list speaking English speaker. I am so excited for those that are booking in. Yes, thank you. Some people are booking in right now. Oh, good. Excellent. Okay, so those links, I'm going to put those back up. Sorry. Put those links back up. These are the links here. I will just leave that link up there for you. And please definitely book on. Think of like, what are your needs? Do you really want to stay the same, or is it time that you changed and improved your accent? As I said to you, you're tired of repeating yourself 2, 3, 4 times. You want to be able to go into a social setting. You want to be able to speak at work, going out to the pub with your friends. You don't want to be embarrassed because your accent is so strong. You want to be heard when you just buy coffee in Starbucks in London or New York City or wherever it is. So let's work together, go through all of the different techniques that are going to definitely help you. I am so excited. Yes, excellent. Thank you. Yep, Carlos is booked in. Excellent. And how do you say that name? Oluwajumi, I think. Okay, excellent. Great. Thank you so much for booking in. Yep, Anna, Solonia. So I love learning about people's names, people's accents. We are going to have too much fun, a great time. And of course, the course is going to start once you've booked on. We can pick a date, a start date, etc. when it's a good time to get the ball rolling. So don't think, oh, if you book today, you got to start tomorrow. No, it's a great and convenient time for you. So I understand everyone's got different responsibilities and time constraints, but book in today. pick whichever course you want to go on to, and let's get started as soon as possible and at a great time and date to suit you. Okay, excellent. So yay, excellent. Mohita, yep, good, excellent. Thank you for booking on. This is great. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming into this webinar. I hope that you've been able to go through all of these courses and all the requirements we're going to get. Please, if you need to get contact with me, please email me, leanne@leannesvoice.com. And then I can message you if you've got any questions, anything else you want to know, if the links are not working. Please, 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 please get in contact. And let's work today on reducing your accent and improving your voice articulation. This has been a great session. I look forward so much to working with every single one of you, and have a great and amazing day.